Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What's happening, everybody? Look, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore here, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. And today, the good, the bad, the ugly of consistency. Oh my goodness, we're gonna bring some twang into the topic of consistency, because I know so many of us are like, yo, I got to get consistent doing these things, all the stuff that I'm required to do in my business. But today we're just going to talk about we're going to talk about the ugly part. Yeah, but we'll talk about the good stuff, but we'll talk about the ugly part. All right. So here's where I'd like to start with this. And I'd like to start with not being consistent, right? So first, let's start with not being consistent. Just pick something. Pick something that you've not been consistent at doing, and say, hey, I haven't been consistent in doing it. So I have not. So if I go back to not being consistent, I have not been consistently, I'm going to say, advertising. I have not been consistently advertising my business. What does that mean, Jay? Like, really, I'm not talking about. And that's the point. I have not been consistent advertising to the point where, in the world of marketing, you like to do direct response marketing. Direct response means that, hey, here's something, then you make a choice, bam, you could have a purchase, or you get you don't necessarily get a client, but you can get an email, you get a name, something that just kind of moves the ball forward. Now, so let's think about, so that's something that I haven't been consistently doing. And what does that mean? It means that I need to change something, right? But then on the other side of that, man, I've been killing it, man. I've been doing a podcast every single day. And I'm just like, well, I'm doing something wrong. Because here's the thing. If you're doing something, I'm doing marketing. I'm doing marketing every day, podcasts, but maybe I'm not getting leads every day. Why am I not getting leads every day? Well, because something's off. See, today I just want to share with you kind of how I had to go back, judge, look at me, Jay, what's going on? Is everything good? At the end of the day, guys, this podcast is it's me being transparent. Like hey, you got to account for your life. Hey, you got to do this, but I'm going to be transparent with you on what's good, what's bad. So you could literally be doing all the right things. You could be I've been consistently hitting the gym and, and running and doing all sorts of things. But I said, man, well, I should be a little further along there. When I say further along than there, when I look at myself, I said, if I've been doing this that long, then I should probably, based on the time period, maybe I could be here instead of here. What does that really mean? Jay, wait a second, but you've got a lot of results. You look really good. And yes, I do. But when I go back and look at myself and say, well, if I'm not getting what I really would like to have, then that means I've been consistently doing the wrong thing. See, the bad part of consistency is that sometimes you can choose the wrong action that doesn't line up with the goal. See, that's the thing, right? Actions create results. But the first step is knowing what action. When was the last time you went to Google, right? You go to Google, you type something in, like I went and typed in, like, what is consistency, or how can consistency hurt you? Because I want to see what other people put out there. Now, typically when you're talking about not being consistent, or the conversation with consistency typically is because someone's not doing something, like in a relationship. Oh, my relationship sucks, man. Things are not going well. That means that maybe I wasn't doing something right. Maybe I have not been paying attention. I was talking to somebody recently, and we were talking about some relationship stuff, It was, hey man, you may have to do something different. Like you may have to change some things up because what happens is, oh, it looks like it's getting better, but you know what? If we really want to get the result that we really like, we got to choose the right action. So if we're looking at our businesses, guys, let's look at our businesses. Like, who doesn't want to grow their business right now? Like, who doesn't want to be more consistent? Who doesn't want to be confident? Who doesn't want to be certain? And the one thing that I've discovered in studying the successful individuals, like that I look up to. I read their books, I watch their videos, I listen to their podcasts. When I look at them, I'm like, okay, they're consistent, they're confident, and they're certain. They're consistent, they're confident, and they're certain. Whoa. Okay, consistency. What does consistency build? The first thing, so consistency builds a new habit. It builds habit. It builds just a new behavior. Now when I go to the gym, or now, hey, if every day I'm going to work on a new ad, like that's a new goal that I'm sharing with you. Every day I'm going to work on a new ad. Even if I'm like seriously, every day I'm going to write a new ad. That's one of my new challenges for myself. Every day I just go write a new ad. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to write some copy. I'm going to get a graphic, and I'm going to go into the ad machine, either Facebook, and I got to actually with Google, YouTube is different. So YouTube, I'd actually have to create a video. But I'm going to start with Facebook because I can write some copy, I can create a graphic, and then I can just upload it. Meaning, I don't have to spend a bunch of money. So every day I write an ad. Like today, that was one of my things. I placed an ad yesterday. I said, you know what? I'm going to place another ad today. I'm going to write something different. Why? Because advertising is an area that I need to grow in. And at the end of the day, why am I not confident? I haven't built the behavior. I have not built up, that behavior that says that I am confident in it. Like I'm confident. I could turn on the camera. I could, power up the microphone here. I can choose a topic, and then I can go right in on something that is on my mind, something that's on my heart. Why? Because I became confident that I could do it. Confident. Now, here's the thing. If you were looking to build confidence, do you think that's going to happen over a short period of time, or do you think it would take a longer period of time? It's the latter. It takes longer, right? Because what happens is, here's the thing about confidence. Check this out. I was at a conference last month. Well, this month. Yeah, last month. I was at a conference last month, the 100X conference, awesome conference. And I took a couple of days off from doing the podcast. Do you know? Check this out. I started losing confidence. I said, oh my goodness, I haven't done it for a couple of days. Man, I've got to get back on it because I don't want to have to reset and start over. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I had already done hundreds of videos already. And I was already I got into the state of, oh my goodness, like it feels weird turning the camera back on. But imagine, just think about that now. You can lose just a little bit of confidence. Anybody that's not doing something is going to lose something, like a basketball player. A basketball player, one thing they may not lose, they may not lose the muscle memory. They may not lose the muscle memory, but they would possibly lose the body memory. The body may not be able to move at the same speed. Yep, I can go to the basketball court right now. I cannot. Even after being consistent for many years, playing basketball, practicing, running. And then now I go to the basketball court. It feels like, man, that's hard. Now I can shoot the basketball. That's an easier part to remember. But the body does not remember. So the bad part of consistency is that it doesn't matter what kind of consistency you've ever done on something. It's that if you stop doing it, you're just going to lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, right, then that means you probably missed out on some consistency. And then what that means is that certainty that you used to have is gone. Now, here's also some bad of consistency, right? Because look, at the end of the day, guys, I don't want us to believe, man, I just need to get consistent. No, we just don't. Just is singular. No, we just don't want to be consistent. We would like to be consistent in everything that moves the ball forward. We'd like to be consistent in everything that moves the ball forward. We like to be consistent in everything that helps us to reach our goals faster. But what if you and I, what if you and I were sitting down and we chose the wrong thing to be consistent at? Like, I'm be honest here. So I'm going to create an ad every day, and I'm going to talk about creating an ad every day from this day forward. I'm probably not going to create an ad on Saturdays. Always take off Saturdays. But I'm going to create an ad Sunday through Friday. So I'm telling you what the goal is. And just because I want you to understand that when it comes to business, you have to be consistent at the right things. What is advertising? Advertising means that you are putting yourself in a position to become known. One of the things I learned from Grant Cardone many years ago, which I'm putting back into practice. I came out of practice. You have to become known by a lot of people, right? And so somebody said something to me. One of my clients, shout out to Nisi Baylor if she's watching this or listen to this. Nisi says something to me. She says, Jay, she says, more people. She says, I know a lot of people like me need to be here on your podcast. I said to myself, why aren't more people hearing my podcast? I haven't become known to the right people. Like, that's crazy, right? I've been consistently doing it. And yet I have not become known to the right people. Why? That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for that one. But if we're in business, think about this. I drive up and down the road every day, right? And this, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, this bothers me. I'm a little right. This bothers me. There's a health system in the Washington D.C. area. It's called MedStar. MedStar, they were decently sized, but they recently just start buying up land, building new property, buying up new urgent cares like crazy. MedStar came into our area and they bought a piece of land that had a building on it. And, they tore it down. They said, we don't want that building. We're going to build something else. Built that building. And then maybe about a year later, they're building, and it's almost done. They're building another building about a mile away. Same look, same size. Then I looked across the street about less than a quarter of a mile away from the first building, and they bought an urgent care. That was something else. Then I looked in another shopping center that's about a mile away. They bought another urgent care. What is that? What am I saying? Here's what I'm saying. MedStar wants to make sure everybody knows who they are. Wants to make sure that wherever you go, you can't help but see them. Like, you drive down the road, there's another MedStar. There's another MedStar. I guess I need to go to MedStar. Man, if I'm sick, I'm going to MedStar. So what happens is, in the minds of the people, they're saying, when I get sick, I'm going to MedStar. As business owners, that's the same thing we have to do. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep showing up in a way that people just like, wow, that business is interesting. One day I'm going to go in there. To the point where then they come in. See, because those businesses don't have to call us. How many businesses, like I walked into Target last night. Target didn't call me. Target didn't send me an email. I mean, which you could be on their email list, but Target didn't call me. Safeway, Safeway didn't call us. We got, my son wanted some pizza last night. I got pizza from Lidl's, and Lidl's didn't call us. They may email from time to time. I think I might have been on the email list. I'm sure my wife is, but that's not usually the reason. We just say we want something, and we remember who has it. What are we known for? See, if we're gonna move, me too, right? Because I'm preaching to Jay Moore, right? If Jay Moore is gonna move, the AFYL podcast. The AFYL podcast has to show up where the people are. It just can't show up on his friend timeline, because most friends, come on now, if most of my friends, I'm gonna say at least 7, maybe 60%, at least 60% know me from when I was young. What does it mean? That just means that they already muted me. They see it. They see it. So as I become more and more successful, which this has happened, but man, I see you out there. Become more and more successful, then they're just like, yo, dang, he was doing that for a long time. Or it's going to feel like an overnight sensation. Like, yo, oh my goodness, that's what happened to Jay. He became a billionaire. He became 100 billionaire. Yeah. But here's the thing. It has to be the right people. The right people have to see what you have. But this requires consistently doing the right thing. See, I wasn't consistently doing the right thing. I was consistent doing my podcast, but I wasn't consistently doing the right thing. And so today, I'm letting you know, hey, Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, has changed. I will consistently write a new ad every day. And I'm gonna share that. And if I miss a day, I'll let you know. But I know that, look, that's gonna be a real big challenge for me because I haven't been doing it. So the ugly part, as I let you go today, the ugly part of being consistent is that you could potentially be consistent. You could potentially be like, yeah, man, I'm killing it. Like I'm 313 days in, got about 305 podcasts this year, right? 305 podcasts this year in the year where you're like, wow, that's a lot of podcasts. You do it almost every day. But the results that I decided I didn't get. So if I'm going to change my results by then changing the action, right? Because I got to get consistent doing something else on top of what I'm already doing. That's when the magic happens. They say, the momentum is what you get. The momentum builds and builds and builds to the point where it's like, bam, overnight sensation. Are you going to be an overnight sensation? Like I'm going to be an overnight sensation? Look, if you are, let me know in the chat. Say, look, I'm going to be an overnight sensation. I'm going to get consistent. And look, sometimes it may get ugly, right? You may consistently do some things that could potentially, like, man, it didn't get me there. But you know what? It builds the muscle. It makes me believe I can do anything that I put my mind to. I can easily, with effort, do it. That's what consistency in doing one thing has given me. It's given me confidence that even if I'm not doing something, I can then do something. And it's also given me the understanding that I can create certainty for my life when I'm consistently working on my life. You see that? You see how it all works? It all comes back to the one life we have to live. So, guys, I hope you got some value from this program today. Look, I want to make sure that I invite you guys. I want to invite you to what's coming down the pike next week. The Good Accounting Challenge is next week. Go and register. Yes, if you have not registered, or let somebody else know. Hey, look, purpose-driven entrepreneur, want to get consistent, want to get confidence, want to not make, if you would like to avoid mistakes that many business owners make from the accounting side. So we're going to merge. I'm going to show you how to merge. I'm going to show you in real time how to merge purpose-driven business with an ordinary business. And I've done that through accounting. And this accounting takes your life and it takes your business and it does like this. Bam. Get in the challenge. It's free, right? Join the challenge for free. I've got a VIP. You can also do that, but that's not required. Join the challenge for free so that you can get consistent, gain more confidence, and also become certain about your life and your business. Guys, I want to thank you for joining for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. This is your boy, Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for life. God bless. I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.